his comments about me, right? And they were somewhat offensive to me at the time. But I think what we are to do. I think his view is just the mere presence, right, is problematic. I personally don't agree with that.
You can wash AIDS off
I think it is the case that Jesus was not hanging out with the Pharisees and just all of these nicely dressed and clean, tunics or whatever, cloaks and things like that. He was out there. He was down there, with people who needed Jesus. And no offense to any of you guys out there, but I think that a lot of atheists need Jesus. I believe this. I believe that there's a lot of discontentment in their own lives now. I hear people boast, "Oh, I'm so glad I left Christianity. I am so happy in my atheism," and so forth and so on. Now, I'm going to admit, I do hear that a lot, but if that's the case, then why do you have to talk about it so much?
I'll ask you, John, do you think that I need Jesus?
Yes, sir. I'll put it this way.
What do you think? Oh, go ahead.
Oh, okay. There's two senses to it. Yes, in a sense that, Jesus will make everyone's life more satisfying. Now, some people have the position that their life is satisfying and that they think they are good people. They don't need any type of thing. They think they got their life together. They might have a family and children and grandchildren and even or something like that. Those types of people may be very successful. They're not gonna admit to needing Jesus. In their minds, they're just fine. They don't need this, this imaginary God to right my life when they think their life is pretty right. So, however, what they think in their mind is not necessarily the reality. And so that's why there's two senses in that.
Is that projection, John?
I actually don't think that you yourself would claim a contentedness, and that there are things in your life represent a life built that is satisfying. I don't think you say that. And I can actually identify with that, by the way, JJ. And so I think that there is something that you yearn for, that you hunger for, and that you have not quite attained as of yet. And I think that your heart, if you even believe in the heart, longs for that. And I think that Jesus is the one who can satisfy that. I believe that, JJ.
Now, JJ,
I probably never told you that.
I think I do believe in hearts in the way that he is using heart here. But you think that I'm longing for what?
I think you're longing for a lot of things. I think you're longing for truth because you don't see it around you. I think you're longing for all the things that God provides that are representative of his goodness. Love, joy, peace, right? I think
I feel all of those things.
You feel all of these things? To be honest, JJ, in your interactions, that is not what I see. Like, for instance, like the way you interact It's not the case that there is a sort of a caring for your fellow man, and I hate to kind of liken you to. Oh wow! Someone had their hand up and I missed it and they left. But you kind of remind me of a little bit like Daniel Nero for some reason.
What?
I know that's a strange comparison. If you bear with me, the reason I say that is because some of the interactions that Daniel looks to engage with people, it's not the case he's engaging with a particular friend. Like, hey, what's going on? You know how friends they're just yucking it up, just talking about mutual interests and this and that, and just small talk and just go he doesn't do that, and neither does JJ.
What are you talking about?
You don't know what I'm talking about?
JJ talks with us all the time, small talk.
Mm-hmm. So
I love and I feel loved.
Mm-hmm.
I experience joy.
Mm-hmm. So
real love, and it's not real joy, JJ.
All of this, though, John, is the reason I asked you is because you said you think a lot of atheists need Jesus, and I wondered. I'm trying to get an idea of what you mean by that, and I know you're probably just going to consider me an atheist along with all other atheists.
No offense, but I do.
No, I don't take offense to it. That's why I asked if you thought I need Jesus in the same way you think some atheists, maybe all atheists, need Jesus. And
I don't think all atheists need Jesus.
I mean, what would Jesus be doing here? Fulfilling my heart?
Let me give you an example of a person I think does not need Jesus, like Bill Gates. I think he doesn't need Jesus.
Why?
I was afraid to ask.
I think he is seems to be sort of content with the empire and the actions that he and his wife have done for his time here on Earth. With the creation of Microsoft and what has contributed to the world, his actions in his foundation in Africa, and some of the pure water things, some of this benevolent actions in terms of the billions and billions of dollars that he has.
Well, they can't be benevolent actions, according to you. In fact, you think
I'm talking about what he thinks. Okay? And I'm not trying to argue with you, Jane. We're talking about JJ right now. Okay? So I explained an atheist, you give an example who I don't think is gonna say that they need it. Now, as far as JJ,
think about my benevolent actions. Those are the things that help me feel content and feel joy and in our expression of love. And just one more thing, how is Jesus going to help me there? Just by giving me more resources to express my love more.
Yesterday, JJ, Pine Creek Doug came into the room, and he was talking about how he's talking about a lot of things. One of the things he was talking about is his behavior, how it's very chill kind of a thing, and that some Christians claim that he is more Christian than actual professing Christians, and so forth and so on. This is the way he was talking, right? And I said something to him that upset him, actually. And I said, "Aren't you a professional atheist?" And he said, "Well, I don't earn enough money to be an atheist." So he's kind of joking around with it. But as I was talking to him further, because the discussion was about people who are religious and they have this sort of childish indoctrination, and therefore, like they have this, baggage, so to speak, right? And he's trying to say, I don't have that. That's what the conversation he was having with the room. And as I'm listening to this, I couldn't help but like interject, and it really upset him. He says, "What are you claiming? I'm like slimy or He started characterizing all these things, and actually, JJ, interesting, right? He says that he doesn't talk about atheism. He doesn't profess atheism. He doesn't try to proselytize atheism. He doesn't do anything like that, right? Is what he was saying. And I mentioned you, JJ, and now I think about it. And I said, I just recently found out that Mr. Rogers was a reverend. And he was a really big influence on my life. And when I was a young child, even before kindergarten. And I never once heard him mention the word Jesus or Christ or anything, ever. And I was so surprised that he was a reverend, ordained, and a Presbyterian pastor at that my point was that I saw the goodness in him. I felt it. I knew it. But he never represented Christ in utterance.
That's right.
But instead it was like he didn't talk about it in that way. And so what I was trying to say was...
No, he lived it.
He lived it. That's exactly what I was
Did you listen? Did you listen to that video?
I did. Now, the thing was this, JJ. My point to Pine Creek was, okay, you may not talk about atheism, right? But you just exude atheism is what I said, right? You just and he starts to say, well, I do these things and I do that thing and I do that thing. And hey, Pine Creek, look who you're talking to, dude, right? You know what I think about that. You know what I think God thinks about all those things that you're mentioning, right? All those acts of righteousness to God, they are filthy, smelly, bloody menstrual rags. This is what I said to him, right? And he started to get upset, right? And he had to go to the golf course. He was like 10 minutes from tea time or something like that. Anyway, he ended up leaving because he had to continue his golf thing, but he left a little bit huffing and puffing because he was like, what, you don't like me now or something? Or, because I've always had good relations with him, actually. And I go, dude, no, that's not it. I do like you, right? And I started saying some characteristics about what I thought that I liked about him. And so all these things, and Haiti was kind of surprised about the situation. And I told Haiti, do you remember Haiti? Like when somebody would say something to me that kind of calls into account the image I want for myself. Do you remember how I reacted in anger and in defensiveness and so forth and so on? She says, yeah. And I said, wink, wink, look over here. And she kind of said, yeah, that was what's going on. And then she started to reason and say, Pine Creek likes this image of himself. And you got John Lee challenging that, right? But what's the reality of Pine Creek, right? And so I think that is what really offended him. Just the mere mention of the things I was saying that really uncovered what I believe to be a facade and a masking. And even those boastful claims comes back to you, JJ. When you talk about the things you do right now or saying right now, no offense, honestly, I'm not trying to offend you. This is what I'm hearing. But you're not just living it, because if you are living it, you wouldn't say the things that you're saying.
Like what?
About the joy and the love.
You were the one who brought up joy. You were the one who brought that up.
Let's say if I wasn't living it, I wouldn't mention that I am content, that I experience joy and love.
John, how many times have you mentioned that you are the most content you've been in your life in the last 3 weeks?
I mentioned that in a sense of giving glory to God.
Oh, but if you mention it, then you aren't living it.
No, that's not
That's literally what you just said.
No, you're taking
For what it's worth.
something.
For what it's worth, John, I can sense it in you, man. I feel like you're at peace.
Thank you. Okay, but here's the difference. I'm giving glory to God, right? In the sense that my source of this goodness that I was talking to JJ about when this conversation began, I believe that God gives these things. Now, when I hear like myself in your community many weeks ago and many months ago, I was never giving credit to God. I was saying how this, that, this, and that, right? And you guys know the truth of it right now anyway, and it was all fraud, and you guys sensed it. You guys knew. You didn't know the exact details of it, but you could tell. I couldn't fool you guys, at least not over time anyway.
Well,
and you guys knew I was a liar. You guys knew this, right? And there was no substance behind those claims, right?
Yeah, there was.
My claims?
No, sorry. I thought you were saying there was no substance in our claims that you were a liar.
it was recognized, yeah, that you were lying. John, you think that God is responsible for my joy too, though, that I experience?
I do.
And I'm certainly not boasting about it.
So
that just comes on the heels of you saying that some people need Jesus. I'm asking you what I would need Jesus for, or why you would think I need Jesus.
Okay. Here's my view on you, JJ.
I would think, one second. I would think that according to you, that I, would have Jesus if that's what's responsible for my joy and my loving and feeling loved.
So,
right?
Yes, if you felt genuine and real joy, it would necessarily have to come from God and God alone.
I'm grateful for whatever the reason is.
So, I guess what I'm trying to say is, there are like utterances of, how like a person like just for lack of a better example, like same-sex marriage, they have adopted children, they have a family, so to speak, and they are claiming to love each other, right? Well, certain words are used, right? And certain actions seem to be represented in that, right? And I would call it love, by the way, but I wouldn't call it a godly love, if you can understand, right?
No.
I don't know if even they would, but then what does godly love represent, and so forth and so on.
I think that's beside the point.
Yeah, and so I'm just gonna, did you notice how I said heart, and then you kind of said, well, I accept that in the way that John said, right?
I think I understand what you mean.
And I also accept what you're saying in the sense that you're expressing that, right? But you have to understand that when I was expressing it to begin this discussion, that you and I may have been using the same words, but obviously I meant it a different way, right, JJ?
At times, yeah. But I think I know what you mean here.
When you say grateful, you just use that word, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, gratitude, I think of thank you, right?
That's right.
And so thank you to whom are we talking about here?
Well, I don't believe in the Yahweh God or anything like that.
Wow,
but if I did, I would thank that person specifically. But I'm thankful for whatever the cause.
Okay, so
and if I knew where to direct it, I would.
So would it be fair to say thank you situation?
Sure. Or the universe in my case.
Thank you universe.
That's right.
Thank you stars in the heavens, something like that.
And everything else, yeah.
And so I understand that's the sense in what you're saying. It just seems very impersonal to say thank you stars in the heaven for my circumstance.
Honey Badger's in the house. Hello, Honey Badger. This is your friend Music. I am like a fisherman or like a spider.
So
I have
understand.
captured
So
you
even
in
the
my web
gratitude,
of despair.
If I did, though,
Way
it would be
Known as
directed
Tom
there.
Rabbit.
the way I think about gratitude,
Don't say it's a bad guy. He's a low IQ guy. What are you gonna do? He can read book, but he don't know how to talk about what's his big idea
so,
of the
so
book.
I'm going to say I
See,
understand
he's here
the way
just
you said
wasting
it.
his time like you, Honey Badger. Who's more stupid, you or John Lee? We're all stupid, wasting your time. What's your problem? Honey Badger, have a positive attitude about everything, cheerfulness and everything. John Lee is wasting his time talking to JCC is another good example of really stupid guy.
Yeah,
You know it's true, Honey Badger. This is what's happening.
I hear some,
Low
I hear
IQ,
some,
brain rot, time, waste of
Let's
time.
say some Native Americans, let's say.
Why aren't you laughing?
They would
Good, good.
literally
Now you get the
explicitly
point.
say,
We're
like,
not making jokes. I mean, come on,
or
dude.
something like that.
You
Like,
take it so
yes,
seriously,
yeah,
Honey
yeah,
Badger.
it's
That's why
cool
you
or
got
whatever,
to make a
but
show, record it like Tom
the
Rabbit,
way that it's
and then
expressed,
it's, oh, Harley Quinn is here. I think Harley Quinn is a Tom Rabbit. Very close.
but the
But
way
anyways,
that,
you
person
need
without
to
God
record all this bullshit, Honey
saying
Badger,
that I'm thankful.
because this deals with intelligence.
It seems like they're saying I'm
They
thankful
see
for
Dennis Chandler. Listen to
situations
Coach
that
John,
I'm
Mr.
thankful
Honey.
for in particular. Am I wrong about that?
Yeah, and is there a problem with that? Because there's no.
No.
There you go.
I'm not saying there's a problem with it.
Good.
It just means a
Honey
different.
Badger, imagine this is what the real world is like. People
Thank
at
you,
work,
Lord,
in the
as a
government,
Christian would say. That's
people
all.
in big corporations,
Yeah, but
they're
it's the
doing the
same
same conversations in the
See what I'm
workplace or
So it
with
doesn't
family
mean
and
the same
friends.
thing when you utter
And
it.
now you know
I
that it's
agree.
better to
That's
shut
all.
the fuck
It
up.
does mean the same thing. It's
Because
just directed
silence
in a
is the
different
truth
place.
of the wisdom.
So okay, that's
These
what you're
people
needing
are
to
all so
know.
stupid.
Like the rest
No,
of
this
the
is
meaning
live
is
right
the
now.
same,
John
but
Lee's
the
room.
is
You
different.
got to go there and say hi,
It's
John.
not even. It's not
This
even
is
the
Rules for
reference.
Christ ministry. Gaining the world is not what did
The
in
reference has
yourself.
nothing to do with it here.
I don't
The
know. If
different
you want to
reference is
text
the
me or
same.
message me on
It's just
Instagram, I
what
can
it's
send you a
directed
link, but I
towards.
can't send you copy paste
That's
from
what's different.
here.
That's not the reference.
Then I would have to leave the
Maybe
room.
maybe I have a misunderstanding of what he means by different things.
Just
Probably.
type in
I can
Fools
ask
for
you though,
Christ
John. You said you
ministry,
did watch that
or just
Mr.
type
Rogers
in
video.
Christ, I
What
guess.
did you think of it?
It's like a yellowish PTR, and then just click
what
on
I
live room.
retained from
You
it
can't find it in the hallway.
was like you gotta love yourself before you love others, and if you're harming others, like you're hating yourself or something to that effect. This is
So
a
forth and
super loose
so forth
paraphrase
and so on.
of that video.
That's right, though. Yeah. It's about being honest with yourself and loving yourself, truly loving yourself.
Johnny blocked you because you caused him too many migraines, probably.
That's you have to do that to love others, to love your neighbors, and he tells you who your neighbors are.
See, Honey Badger, this is why all these people are stupid. Instead of just talking, just read the fucking book.
In the
Shut
case
the
of
fuck
this
up,
verse,
read the
this is
book.
interesting
You
how
guys
Augustine,
keep talking
I-
about Jesus, but what about the book about Jesus? Oh my God, where do you think the story came from? Motherfuckers! Read the fucking most important book ever written, motherfucker! Just write your
in Luke
fucking
chapter
book!
9,
Oh, we're getting back to the book, ladies and gentlemen.
that it was actually talking about that. About you do this and you will live. This is what I remember in my morning devotional is what it was talking about. Because I often say that.
We have hit our first hour of today's podcast. We're going to restart the live streams. Here we go.
And it's a little bit different question there. It says, it's right after transfiguration of demon possession boy, and then prediction of his death.
Don't you know, Honey Badger, what it's like to talk to a homeless
Yeah,
person
there it
living
is.
in an RV on
Okay,
Clubhouse?
What is this?
You're not technically homeless if you live in an RV, but I've lived in an RV. It's not fucking easy.
Anyway, I don't know why I'm having a hard time following, but it has to do with like Jesus answering a question, right? And what must I do to it?
I told John Lee yesterday that people listen to him because he has a very relaxing
What does the law
voice.
say?
And he's like,
And the
people
person
tell me
says,
that I
you know,
have an ASMR
Says to
voice.
love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, strength, and mind, and
What's
love your neighbors
misophonia?
yourself.
What's misophonia?
He says you
Google
answered
that.
rightly.
Never heard of it.
Like do this and you'll live.
Hypnosis? Like, does it put you into
And
hypnosis?
the thing I gleaned from it, I've always said this: you can't love your neighbor unless you love yourself.
Oh, genius.
People get that concept, but what I say is that
We're gonna hit that every time we hear a sacred truth.
unless you love God first. You can't have the ladder without the former. But some people, because God is the source of love. Now, of course, I'm talking about my paradigm, right? My view. It just doesn't come out of thin air. It certainly
It's the same with me.
Ourselves.
I think it's the same with a lot of atheists also.
Well, for an atheist, where does love come from? JJ?
Ask them.
I'm going to think that they're going to say it comes from themselves. And the Bible tells us that no good comes from themselves.
John, you want to hear from an atheist or you want to hear from the Bible?
So wait, anybody, you're telling me that there are sounds that you don't like and therefore you call yourself misophonia? Fucking bullshit, dude. It's a concept. You're just fucking, you choose what you listen to. And you are the reason why you don't like the sounds you hear, because you're choosing to listen to this stupid shit. What the fuck is wrong with you? Motherfucker, this ain't the complaint hotline. This is that 1-800 complaint. Motherfucker!
Carletta's capacity to love was created by nature.
Carletta! They're still calling JCC
You can
Carletta.
attribute love to that if you want.
So, well,
It's kind of,
now you're getting into a different realm, JJ. 'Cause I was just
I bet
talking
you
to
this
some
room will.
naturalists this
Oh, he
morning,
says it's a 2-hour
Right.
room, so
and
I might walk away at some point.
natural is
Try to be
material. You think
Yeah,
they're gonna
JCC is a
agree
real
that love
schmuck.
is material?
I just love. Have you ever heard JCC crash out? That's
I don't know.
honestly
I mean, I-
really, really
I think it's
enjoyable.
problem here.
This is like the opposite of misophonia, where
I know this because
you think. See, this is why you know misophonia is bullshit, honey.
There's
Because
strict
you
use
think
of-
you hate these sounds, but when you hear one of these sounds that you hate crash out, it all of a sudden becomes enjoyable. Isn't that crazy? I think that's like Schadenfreude, taking pleasure in people's misery and suffering.
Does not come from anything external to the mind.
This is an all-star room here. We got Daniel Nero,
the brain,
Harley Quinn,
because they're
another
very-
Daniel, JCC, JJ, who I'm not really too familiar with,
And so,
myself, of course, and
that's what
Jane,
I
Dark
think
Jane.
I'd like to get. That's
This is
what
going to
I
be a
think
John
you're
Lee
saying.
Baker. I'm sure.
Now, you may think a little bit differently.
I don't think it's
Right.
Tom Rabbits was in the room earlier. That's why I created this room. But
Well, it doesn't
if you
come
go
out
to
of
the
thin
Tom
air,
Rabbit
right?
YouTube channel,
But in any case,
he's
you
got
understand
Johnny
that
saying
we
all kinds of
understand
vulgar
that God
shit.
is love.
He's got
If
Darth
we love,
Dawkins, tons of
We
Darth
love
Dawkins
because he
videos, which
first
is very
loved
funny.
us. We received the love
And he's
from
got a lot of
God.
subscribers, and
It's
when he
like,
puts a
you
video
know,
up, it
like
gets a lot of views. So
the
Tom
example that
Rabbit
I
is
was given,
actually
you have the mountain,
what I'm trying to do, but I can't even achieve his
and like the
success.
river, it flows
I've-
to us, which is the
He's
Sea
got
of
like 30
Galilee.
YouTube accounts.
And when we receive that sort of like,
Yeah.
water,
He also has a
Just
photo
receive
of
it,
Darth
don't
Dawkins
give it
because he had
away.
a green
Then it's
screen
gonna
on, and
be
all of a sudden he emerges
like
from the Darth
unhealthy.
Vader.
But the reason why it's healthy is because it continues to flow, and so we're receiving the spring melt in the river to the body of water.
That's very metaphorical. I get it. And naturalists or
But then
physicalists or
the example
materialists.
is, look at the Dead
John.
Sea. It doesn't go out anywhere. It has no
Doesn't-
outflow. Right?
So it's maybe not a great metaphor, but the point is
What do
that
you mean it's not a
naturalists.
great metaphor. The thing
point
is
is
that
that
it has inflow. It has inflow, but no outflow. Therefore, it's dead as a body
Yeah.
of water.
Yeah,
So the question is, if you have that metaphor, if it's full,
Yeah.
where is the love from the
Well,
atheist coming from?
see, honey,
It's
this
coming
is
from
the thing
brain.
that if you think picking on a homeless guy in an RV on a social audio chat is the best usage of your time in terms of intelligence accumulation, accretion, read a book, honey badger. Come on here and read the effing Bible.
No,
God
I'll
would
read
give
it
you
with you to
some
these
of them.
people, or just go in the room and say, "Hey, I want to read Psalms 14:14, you know, whatever. Pick something, get a book and read to these people, and they'll be like, "Oh, I think Honey Badger's coming around." But they'll still not even comprehend what you're reading to them. So, honey, with us, we have an intelligence problem here, and we can disguise it
So,
as
I guess you asked me a
genuine or
question.
disingenuous people, but it's
And
not
about
disingenuous people, honey badger. It's low IQ, brain rot, stupid people that you're dealing with here. So recognize intelligence
I can sense that.
has to be
And Jane didn't agree as well.
recorded, diagnostically tested somehow.
Well,
And
it's not so much I didn't agree with you. I didn't understand why you were saying it,
and
because
Honey Badger,
you said
part
that
of the reason I'm
some
saying this is
atheists
because
need
I
Jesus.
want to get back to
I
books,
wasn't sure. I
but
wasn't
now
sure
I'm
why
pulled into this
or how
vacuum,
they needed Jesus.
this spider web
And so
of
I asked, for
despair,
example,
this
being
fishing
me,
net
if
of
you
a
thought I
fisherman,
needed Jesus
John
and
Lee,
what
the
Jesus would
fisherman
do
of
for me.
souls.
I give you an honest assessment.
And again, his
Now,
room title is
there's some
Gaining the
other
World
things
is
that are
Not
for
Worth
me.
Forfeiting Your
comes down
Own
to,
Soul, Honey Badger.
Is that when
Honey
I tell
Badger,
them, when I confess
are you in peril of losing your soul, or have you already lost it?
change, at least the way
Hello?
you presented, change how I love or feel loved, or any contentment or joy that I experience,
I don't make that.
because well, the example you used was Bill Gates being an atheist that didn't need Jesus because he seemed content, he felt content because of his riches, it seemed like. And unless Jesus is going to give me riches so that I can express my love and feel joy more, I don't think I need Jesus. In that in direct contrast to your example. So I'm still wondering why you think that what Jesus would do for me.
Okay.
One more thing, John. Unless you're saying that I'm
Alright,
lying
start
when I
this
say
live.
that I feel joy
Profile
or
button now.
love.
Go back
Ding,
to
ding, ding,
anymore.
ding.
So let me have.
Are you saying that I'm lying,
See, I'm uncomfortable.
or you don't believe me?
Dude, you're not even letting me speak. You're like Green Creek yesterday. He's cutting me off a lot too.
I don't mean to, but I just want to make sure that I'm being clear with you.
You're very clear with me.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So there's some background information that I have. I don't know when it applies in terms of like when this occurred or anything like that. But I think I guess you were maybe depressed or something. I don't know when that was, to be honest with you. And maybe I heard you saying that you had sought help or something. And that's a description that was the reference of what I was thinking.
You don't think Christians get depressed?
Well, John, yeah, I have been depressed.
So
In the past, probably
if
will.
you don't mind,
probably
Jay,
will
if I
be in
could
the
just talk
future.
to JJ, because this is not your room, just let you know.
Probably will be in the future. Also, John, you hear me? Have been.
Yes.
But what does that have to do with now?
Okay. Like I said, I don't know the time frame at all. I'm trying to be honest with you, right?
I'm not sure what relevance it would have.
But however, I heard you talk about it. And when I heard you talk about it, I glean information from the sense by which you talk about it. Okay? And so whether it was 20 years ago, whether it was 10 years ago, it doesn't matter to me. It was the now in the way that you talked about it. And what I was hearing, right, from that was the best way I could think about it is the best way I could characterize it is an absence of contentment. That's what I heard in that sharing of your experiences.
Sure, I was not content in those moments, whenever they were.
Well,
what does that have to do with now?
Okay. So I guess what I'm trying to say is a very good question. What does it have to do with now? Again, I don't even know when that happened. So if I describe something, JJ, like something that happened to me as a child, maybe some horrible thing that happened to me as a child, but I'm telling about you something that happened a few decades ago, then you can almost sense whether they're over it or they're still holding on to it and hasn't been resolved. Does that kind of make sense? And
Do you
so
think you see
when it happens, Jane, can I please talk to JJ, please? And so when it happens, it's really not an issue for me as I'm listening. Is how you describe it. What feelings that seem to be expressed in that, and so what I heard from that was, oh, JJ is not content now. That's actually what I heard from that. That's my reference point, just to let you know. I didn't want to say because it might be sensitive. Okay?
JJ, it sounds like he's just projecting onto you.
So
I actually don't know what he's saying now. In the past, I've been.
You got it right the first time. He's saying that even though you say you're content, he's reading into it that you're not content and that you're lying about it.
And
Is
so,
that right, John?
I don't like to use the word lie.
Well,
Because sometimes me, I have a lot of blind spots, and I wouldn't consider. You guys called me a liar. That's fine, right? I was just ignorant. I would say that I was ignorant of it. I was blind to it. That's how I would describe it.
fine, but call it what you want. I mean, if you're saying that you don't believe me when I say to you now, when I express how I feel now, representing my own feelings. You're saying that you don't believe me when I self-report how I feel?
Okay. Well,
So it's a yes or no question.
well, here's the thing. The self-report, I don't really take too much weight into it. I just don't. I've been this way my entire life. I look for other evidences other than the self-report.
Innuendos and tones
so-
of voices.
And absolutely, that's how you know someone's being sarcastic.
Right, but
So,
I don't
so
know.
in any
You've been
case,
wrong so many times about these like feelings.
so man, I don't know why. Obviously, you're upset, Jane, but I'm trying to talk to JJ if you don't mind. Okay,
Because I'm very clearly upset.
I can see that. And
That was sarcastic, John. You see how
So-
bad you aren't picking up
To
the
get you
phone?
to get you some extra pearls to clutch
Yes,
for Christmas, Jane.
So I'll tell you what. When you say that you're upset and you're claiming sarcasm, I genuinely think you were upset. And so
Just to get back to what
So
I was saying.
hopefully I can continue my conversation with JJ.
To get back to what I was saying, though, John.
Yeah, without Jane.
When I tell you how I'm feeling, are you saying you don't believe me?
This is what I'm saying. Okay, this is the issue with Sonido, and this is what I was interrupted with. Sully yesterday was talking about lies. He says in order
Can I just get
hang
you to
on,
tell me
hang
that
on,
you do or do not believe me?
Hang on, sir. Just please bear with me. It is the case that in order to be a lie, there has to be an awareness of wrongness. And so if the person is ignorant of, blind to, even though false information is coming out of their mouth, according to Sully anyway, that doesn't constitute a lie. And so when I said that you may be blind to it, or ignorant of it, or not aware of it, and what you're saying is not representative of what I believe to be the reality. There's a big echo, by the way. And so if I'm saying that, then I'm just saying that I don't believe the veracity of what is being said. I'm skeptical of it. So people take it personally. I just told you.
I don't care if you say if it's a lie. I don't care about that. All I care is if you don't want to call it a lie, it's just you don't believe me when I'm telling you how I feel.
That's correct.
And you think that I'm unaware of how I feel?
I don't know, JJ. I just don't know.
You don't know. You're just skeptical.
I'm a little bit more than skeptical. Okay? So what I'm saying is...
How confident are you in this assessment?
Yeah, so I'm trying to ask you not to participate in the discussion, even as you claim not to be upset.
Honey Badger, do you hear yourself in this? Do you hear yourself in JJ?
Just doing this represents maybe that you have some issues with even though you're claiming to be sarcastic. And this is what I said. I don't believe her when she says it.
It was
Anyway.
a question.
Again, Jane, may I have your permission to continue the
I know, but what I'm
discussion?
trying to point out is
Can I get
that
your permission?
these are people arguing with a
No.
very neurotic person, and thus they themselves are
Then may I
neurotic.
send you out to the audience where you may or may not listen?
And so,
Well, it's up to you,
yeah,
John.
same play again.
Well, if you're going to
It's
tell
the
me
same
no, I
video
will
game.
send you
You
down.
just, so what does that
Listen,
tell you?
John,
That people,
I would love to have
Jane.
see, there's just no awareness though.
Jane,
How the
yes,
fuck
sir.
does JJ and Jane and
is a
others
source.
come here to play this
source
game. This is like a
of
cat
joy
playing
in
with a
my
mouse
life.
or a ball. They paddle it
This
around.
is another
But they
thing,
themselves don't
JJ.
recognize that what they're
I was
doing
talking
is
to
the
Jimmy
opposite of
last
what
night.
John
I
Lee
think
is
it was
doing.
last night.
So you have these
And
two
about,
neurotic spectrums that
I think
collide, and both of them
and
can't
he
recognize
came in
how
all
the other
boastful,
party
says,
is
"I can
essentially
convince somebody of
paralleling
Christianity with my
what
argument."
they're doing,
And
and
we're all
thus
like,
it's total
"Oh,
stupidity,
there, a lot of people were
insanity.
there. Oh, really?" And he says, "I could do it."
But the thing
I
is,
think
they're
I'm gonna
not reading
convince
the
3 or
book,
4
Honey
people
Badger.
is what he
So
said,
I go back to the
of
book
God,
club, where if
of
people
Christ.
aren't doing book
And so
club
we kind of
debates,
go, okay.
you might as well be talking about how to tie the
And so
laces on your shoe.
gives his argument.
What's the fucking difference? You hear this? You mean to tell me you're telling me how I feel, and you know I don't believe that you believe that I feel this way, and I might be different than you? Like, what the fuck is this, Honey Badger, on a fucking Tuesday morning? The fuck's wrong with these people? This is like retarded people should be living in an assisted living facility that have Down syndrome.
Nobody. He says, and then he says it takes time, right? By which we're kind of laughing because you said you right immediately will be 3 or 4 meetings, what he claimed, right? Anyway, Johnny Haas was reveling in it. Okay? He enjoys Christians making an ass of themselves. You guys, you know this, right, JJ?
Mhm.
And
Finally, therapy hour.
Johnny, you and I agree upon the exact same facts. He made a fool of himself. He was proud. All of these things, and he was agreeing. I mentioned about 5 or 6 things.
Daniel
Yes. Okay. Now that we agree upon the facts of it, let's look at our attitudes toward it. You were enjoying it. He actually said, "I took out the popcorn," right? And he was watching, right? And when he knew it was going to happen, and it did happen, then he was enjoying it, right? I said, Johnny, you know what? Me? Did you hear me participate in any of that? I was actually saddened by that, right? And someone asked me, like, did you pray for him? And I said, no, I didn't, which is true. But I could see myself, right, being in a situation where not only am I saddened by it, it moves me to tears, and it causes me to be inspired to pray for him, right? And so I said to Johnny, like, that's the difference between you and I. It's such that you are enjoying this, and I'm actually saddened by this, okay? And so, in a sense of you, JJ, and that's why I compared you to Daniel Nero. Is Daniel even here? I don't know. Oh, he's down there. But the reason I did is because those types of interactions, and I'll even throw Johnny, you, and Daniel in this, you 3 together, there is just some sort of entertainment value that you guys enjoy, and it's some sort of I don't know if I'm going to call it like sadism, but it is some sort of, I use the term reveling in evil occurring. And, you know, I was telling Johnny, love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. And I said, do you think you're exhibiting love? I think I asked him. And I think he was saying he does, right? And I said, okay, can you give an example of where somebody was embarrassed or something and Jesus was like, ha ha ha, laughing at them falling or something? Couldn't come up with an example. I said, let me tell you one more thing. God says he does not delight in the death of the wicked. So what do you think is going on here? You think you're doing something godly? And this is where I was with
John Lee does godly.
He wasn't too happy, let's just say that. And I'm going to bring it back to you, JJ. I'm going to say that these are similar things that I see in you. Even as you and Johnny, and I don't know about that, I'm not a speaker, but just as far as you two go, the things that you delight in, I would view as an evil occurrence, a train wreck, And then he gave an example of, well, if a woman was raped in an alley, I would, and then he started going that route, which he's done probably 100 times before, as if it's like differentiates that. No, it doesn't. Okay. And so, what I notice about you, JJ, is that when you question people and they sort of slip up and contradict themselves even, are made to look like fools, are just laughed at and mocked, I think you enjoy it. I think you're twisted in that way. And that doesn't reveal to me, JJ, a person who's content with their life.
Well,
Maybe I'm wrong.
I don't know what the content thing has to do with anything. But, I mean, clearly you don't pay attention very well then, because it's true I find things funny that where people are upset or whatever. But I should hope that most people notice. I often immediately say, we should not be taking joy in this. This should not be funny. This is actually.
I've heard you say that. I've heard you say that, by the way. Johnny doesn't say that.
This is well, I know, and I don't want to disparage Johnny, but maybe it is something he should look at. But you do hear me say that.
I have heard you more than once say that.
So I think
yes.
Well, I'm glad that you remember that now, because that's a big factor.
It
that
is.
You seem to be leaving out.
I apologize that I did leave it out, and it is a factor, big factor. I agree. Now, let's look at it. How about that?
Yeah, reevaluate.
No, let's look at it. So, what are you saying? That, like, you feel guilty about it? It's a guilty pleasure? Is that what you're saying?
I don't know if you'd call it that. In fact, I don't think that actually applies. But
why would you express that openly like that?
Sure, in the moment, we may find something funny that, like I said, some people it takes longer.
But I have a question.
But when it's recognized that this probably shouldn't be funny.
Right, you recognize that.
I don't know. There might be guilt associated with that. I think that's kind of beside the point, also.
Well, I don't think so, but go on.
No, I think that doesn't really matter. The fact remains that it's recognized that it shouldn't be recognized.
Yes. Now the thing is this, okay? Are you satisfied in engaging in things that you yourself, by your own standards, ought not be the case?
Say that again.
Are you satisfied in what you are engaged in that you yourself, by your own standards, think ought not be the case?
I don't know what you mean by ought not be the case here.
Well, you said you shouldn't be funny. It shouldn't be funny.
Oh, I guess so. Am I engaging in things like what?
So like
finding something funny?
In other words, like a person is torturing animals, let's say, for lack of a better example.
Yeah.
And they're telling themselves, you know what, I shouldn't be enjoying this, but I do. You know? And they recognize that they shouldn't be enjoying it, but they're also honest enough to say, I am enjoying it.
I think when they say that, when they question whether they should be, at least for me, certainly that could be torturing an animal or whatever you said. It's the recognition that they don't find it funny, and that's usually what I say. Is that this actually isn't funny. This is.
But are you not openly delighting in it?
It seems that way momentarily, at least, yeah. And that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And that's why I say I think that the questioning of it is not whether I should still, it's that I'm not now.
I guess I'll put it back to me.
I think there's a big difference there. I hope that was clear.
Okay. Well, I'm going to put it back to me then. Okay, I specifically remember now, I've been a Christian. I became a Christian, but somehow I fell to where I was very badly addicted to crack cocaine. And I remember getting high and praying, like praying that I don't do this. But I'll tell you what, JJ, and I'm not trying to promote it to anybody. That's the greatest high I've ever felt in my life.
I agree, because I did it that one time. And,
okay.
And never again.
Okay. Yeah, but what I'm saying is this, okay? Is while I was enjoying it, I was actually praying to God, please, like I don't want to do this anymore. But I find myself the very next day doing it again.
Do you remember my story, though?
But well, just real quickly, but I wasn't content. That's the point. Go ahead.
Oh. Yeah, the one time I did it.
You never told me the story.
Well, I've said it a few times. I thought you would have heard it by now. Mm-hmm. Tried it one time, took one puff, immediately felt it, and just said, wow.
Right?
I can quote myself. Wow, this shit is great. I'm never doing this again.
Okay. Interesting.
I never did.
It's almost like Owen. Do you remember when he drank and came into the room?
No.
I don't remember that.
I don't know if I was there.
He was like, wow, this is the greatest. And I don't think he drank since then. People were afraid, oh my goodness, this is the beginning of alcoholism. I feel to blame, or whatever the people were saying. But in any case, yeah, okay. But I guess what I'm trying to say is this. I don't want to just go down Gray's rabbit hole. When you expressed what you said you did, and thank you for reminding me you did say that, I shouldn't be enjoying this, I think, more or less on purpose, what you said. That you were. That right there seems to be, to me anyway, sort of a tension, an absence of.
I mean, I'd be clear what we're talking about. We're talking about finding something funny, which on further reflection is not that funny. In fact, it's sad.
That's my point. That Johnny found it funny, and I found the exact same thing sad, given the exact same set of facts.
Yeah, I think it's alarming to continue to think it was, more funny than sad, or not sad at all. Maybe deserved or whatever. And I think it speaks to.
Did you?
It speaks to vindictiveness,
right?
And maybe sometimes vengeance, or
right.
Some kind of
You're
maliciousness.
Speaking my language. You're speaking my language,
which I never feel. Maybe never is too strong a word, but I avoid any kind of malice, and I can't actually think of any.
You don't think you're actually engaged in it?
Oh, correct.
Majority of your life?
I think that that's not what motivates me. I don't hold grudges. I'm actually very forgiving, with few exceptions.
You're almost sounding like Pine Creek right now, but
I still don't understand what Jesus is going to do.
Well,
fucking bullshit, dude.
He's like going to save you from yourself, it sounds like to me.
Other than letting me into heaven, I think I understand much of the Christian teachings and ethos, even if I don't agree with some of the interpretations.
I'm free from stain.
And I don't think those are even all that exclusive to Christianity. But that's what I'm familiar with. I don't know what else Jesus can give me.
Oh my goodness.
They're inside, sir. Well observed.
have something else going on. Anyway, I'm sorry. I got distracted.
Who are you? Who sent you? You're not me up here.
This conversation began about what?
I trust this place.
Yeah, maybe what about
Atheists needing Jesus.
Kill all the priests.
And just using me as an example.
Exactly. And I do think, I agree with Johnny when he says Christianity is not for everybody. I actually agree with that. Christianity is for people who are weary, heavy laden. And he says, come to me and I'll give you rest. Take my yoke upon you. This is what Jesus says. That he says, I have not come to call the righteous but sinners. Right? This is what Jesus says. So there's a specific people he's interested in. Right? He's not interested in everybody. He's not interested in the Pharisees, who he considers whitewashed tombs. And by the outward appearance, they are very well dressed, very clean, very upright, pillars of the community, teachers of the keepers of the temple of the church, so forth and so on. He's very critical of them, and for good reason. But he even gives one example. He says to him, there's two men that went up to the temple to pray, and one of them was a Pharisee or something, and he says, thank you, God, that I tithe every month, that I tithe all my pay, that I give to the poor, that I fast once a week, that I do all these things, and I'm not like this pathetic, tax right? And he says the tax collector, would not even look up to heaven and was beating his chest. He said, forgive me. Because I was there. And he says, as far as like when they're walking out of there, he said the sinner was justified before God. Think about where it says God opposes the proud, gives grace to the humble. All of these things first, shall be last, and the last shall be first. All these things, right? It just tells me who God
It
is.
is the Marquis of Montrose who has mispoken himself to last man perjury against his enemies. Leave the blaze up.
And self-control.
This is not your quarrel.
Your land is forfeit to me against your debt. Until that is settled, I will have you lodged in the
They just
toll.
don't need
Take it into custody, Archibald. You have my commission on it.
He understands that the people
My father spent 2 years in that jail for no cause but to win a great man like you. And I will not go there, sir.
God of the watch, can you?
You can't live
Cut his
without
throat. You are damn the beggar.
I know it's
Done some work. You've done enough of work.
When I say it, I can't speak for other people. But I'm interested to have to say.
You have said your last words to the
Yes.
Okay, that's your perception.
Does it not?
I would say that I've been in your rooms for many years, right? And I know what the religion is teaching me, right? But I will say that in the privacy of my own dwelling,
You don't have a dwelling.
when I hovel, whatever you want to call it, okay, that, at 4 a.m, right, I am in complete worship of God, my maker, that, there's a verse in scripture that says, be
None of this
still.
has anything to do with what I said.
Well, you're saying that it's based upon the teachings of my religion.
Right, I'm saying your religion teaches that all of us are pieces of shit, and the only reason why we can get into heaven or be good is with God's help. God is the only way that we can be good. How many times have you said this?
I fell for trouble.
You aren't now because you're covered in the blood of Christ. But before,
There you go.
right, and what I'm saying is that us, when I said us, I meant atheists, because we're talking about why atheists need Jesus. It's because you guys teach that we're pieces of shit.
Okay, so that would be like, when I think teach, that would be like the mind. And of course, you may not agree that there's a mind and a heart, but when I understand that I'm a sinner, right? That experiential, that awareness.
You're a sinner.
Okay, hang on. No, ma'am. When there's an awareness, irrespective of, I could quote Romans 3:23 all day long.
How he makes money.
Who are we talking about?
We're talking about Rabbi. Rabbi makes money in a very Jewish way.
He's just a wage cuck, dude.
No, he is a wage cuck. And I won't say exactly what he does, but let's just say through one of the applications that he uses, you can get a free moment that usually would cost money.
Docs.
And that's funny. That's really funny because he's offering his time for free because he's such a wage cuck.
It's called a session.
Is AI music
Yeah.
A session.
Kitover?
Yeah.
John Kitover, did you ever
He's a clubhouse king.
well, he was for a moment, but he said that he was filing a case, a police report, with against Brad S. And then he also said that he was suing Brad S. I don't think that ever happened. AI music, did that happen?
Okay, sorry, Rudolph, I just found our questions. You have 2 more questions left, FYI.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if Diego wants to do that, but he answered all the questions.
Well, listen, it's not Diego's, it's my consent that you have to ask for.
No, it's Diego's consent. It's his room.
You can ask for
secondary consent.
You can ask for Diego's consent first, but my consent will, my consent is number 1, of course.
So Rudolph, just to be clear, Rabbi did ask you nicely to stop, but you didn't stop.
The more you talk about it, the more you're gonna risk him getting doxxed. So
listen, Rabbi has trolled me a lot about how I'm a cuck and how my wife is married to a cuck and how she has sex with black men and how
Here we go.
sex.
Well, that was Brad that said that. That wasn't Rudolph.
No. Rabbi said that. And listen, I'm fine with Rabbi trolling me. So I thought at some point I'm going to troll Rabbi. I don't know where. And 6 months later, did I happen to stumble across some information about Rabbi that could allow me to?
How did you get that information?
I'm glad knows that.
Nope, not by any individual other than myself. I swear on my life.
Like the Bible.
Swearing in children's life.
I swear on my child's life that I found Rabbi's information with no one else's help.
Wow. You're good at that. Because, I haven't tried, but I just figured it would be very difficult. I mean, where the fuck was it?
It's not hard at all. And I want you to know exactly what to look at.
Did you use his voice, or what did you?
No, let's just say that there is information that he has given everyone that if you decided to just look those information up, listen, and you assume the profession that he may have, you will find him. I don't know now because you might change it all, but you can find him very easily. And so I was like, I told him straight up, hey, I know your name. I'm never gonna tell anyone. This is a nuclear bomb that I have.
He told me you were. He told me his name.
I'm like Israel. I will not sign any treaties.
No,
I definitely have a bomb.
David, what happened is that he said in a phone room with everyone that I know what you're talking about, Keegan, and that's not my real name. You can say it. That's what he said in a room.
He did say that, yeah, that's true, yeah. I was there, yeah.
And so then I was like, oh, okay. And then I said his name. And now it's doxing? He told me to do it. I said I had a nuclear bomb. and he wanted me to use it. Listen, I dropped Hiroshima, and I'm not going to drop one again, though. I won't drop
But how would he have known what name you were going to say for him to have said that in the first place?
Exactly. Why would he even take the risk? That's my opinion. I agree with
if
you.
he did it like me, Nura, like, you know. No?
But, so,
What do you mean? What do you mean like you?
I'm not.
Well, I live under a name that, like, has been doxxed, and people think that I'm, like, a Mexican guy that happens to have that name.
Roberto Taylor!
Basically, it's a common name, like a common Arab name.
Well,
I'm saying, like, isn't it possible if you could also have, like, an assumed name?
We all have seen your interview, though, Diego. Great interview, by the way. Great interview. But I was like,
Let me just summarize Diego's seminar presentation when he was like, I couldn't believe it, but I found out words have meanings. I had never known that words had meanings and words have power. You can yeah, it was amazing. He had like this moment. He's like, I never knew that. No one ever told me.
You're such a Kitover.
But yeah, so listen, that's why I want a conversation with the rabbi, because he's going around claiming I've done a lot of things. I've not done one thing that he's claimed. I am trolling him. He did tell me to stop trolling him, which I will not.
Yes, I do that.
And have I also been reading in Bible verses?
David, that was the gayest, he asked nicely, I've ever heard, David. Holy shit, David. I didn't know you had the most flamboyant voice. Are you drinking martinis at 11 in the morning? What's going on over there, David?
It's 12:30. We're not Central Time.
He asked nicely.
David, please ping him in here. Everyone ping Rabbi in here. As many.
It's not just you that he's not coming in. It's me too.
Oh,
Yeah, sure.
Well, what's wrong with you?
Well, I reported Rabbi yesterday to the app.
He was doxing like where my family lives to Jewish people in Palestine.
Wait, he's doxing people?
He was telling Yael and some other Jewish people where my family was living, and I had it recorded. And when I was
oh my God, he called ICE on your family.
No, I'm talking about in Palestine. My family are here legally, and so
We're in Palestine now.
Illegally. So I was just saying stuff on Twitter about him, but I don't know. Diego, did he claim that I doxed him? Because I don't know anything to dox him about.
I think he's been given to his sexual.
Hey, Silla.
Moose.
Great banger birthday room yesterday. I went so long and so many great speakers. Wow, Silla. What a birthday present. Wow.
Like, he has that. He doesn't like to
Beautiful.
get rejected.
Just beautiful work there. This is the Tom Rabbit Show if you want to come up and say
Melissa, he doesn't talk to Melissa anymore because she rejected him.
But he looks at Melissa's profile once a week.
Oh, yeah. Well, he's
resistance, Palestine is your
that's a
favorite
reality, you know what I
resistance.
mean?
That's so funny.
He doesn't, here's the thing about Randy that you know without a shadow of doubt. Like, he does the whole, BDSM thing, but he doesn't like the girls that he has sex with and or simply, sexualize. He doesn't, that's not what he wants.
Projection alert. Projection alert.
I don't think he's into BDSM.
Projection
Just
alert.
BDS.
Yeah. Oh, man. So,
I think it's hilarious that Ryan says that he does not have a gaydar for Randy when he's the one that used to talk about putting John Hermosa in a cage in his house, and I've never heard a straight man ever say something like that.
Ryan put John Hermosa in a cage?
No, Randy would say that he wants to do that with John Hermosa, but Ryan does not say that Randy is gay. Even if you're trolling, what straight man would troll that way?
Oh my God, he wants to make John the gimp.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Well, I just want to say that I think this is 5 days running now that you guys have started back up, and now your room title is Holocaustco.
No one has complimented me on the fucking title. I thought it was pretty good. That's actually pretty good.
What do you think about it, Kitover?
Well, I'm just wondering, is it the fact that Trump's tariffs are causing Costco, more expenditures, or is it the Holocaust that you guys are more concerned about? What is it on a Tuesday morning that has you guys, conflicted?
Diego.
Listen, all I know is they told us that every Costco is equipped to bake enough cookies to feed 6 million people.
Whoa. Too soon, Rudolph. Too soon.
And that's what's his name said, Fuentes, too soon.
Piers Morgan, trying to create crocodile tears.
With his Holocaust friend.
Bringing up little Danny Finkelstein. It is it's just.
I mean,
give it a rest already.
Nick Fuentes makes a good point. It's not about the Holocaust. It's about not being able to question it whatsoever.
It's not about the Holocaust?
It's about not being able to question it. He's saying if you say that this number of people didn't die in certain countries, that you get arrested. And that itself is what his issue is. And Piers Morgan completely ignores that that's his point about the Holocaust.
Right. I mean, my dad said it this morning. He's like, if somebody asked me, what do you think of the Holocaust? I would say, which Holocaust are you talking about? The Gaza one or the one with the Jews?
Your dad said that?
Yeah, he said that in the morning. He's like, which Holocaust are you talking about? Because I was telling him about Nick Fuentes, about the Holocaust joke.
And the reason why you say which one is because both of them don't exist.
There you go. But that's
oh gosh, you Protestants.
Wait, Nick Fuentes has said there could be more than 6 million.
Yeah, you're right. He believes that 6, 7, 10 million. I mean, we don't know.
My dad is a boomer.
He's a true Christian.
No, but here's the thing.
We really don't know the number of the Holocaust. I mean, it could be 7.
He said it could be 100 million.
No, he said times 100, so 6 million times 100. So.
Oh, so 600 million. That's right. 600 million. He said 600 million Jews.
I mean,
and he ignored that. He didn't even hear it.
Yeah, but no, he heard it. He just was trying to act tough.
He was focused on, hey, get that Hitler clip. Do you guys see that hot mic part? Nick Fuentes is going on a rant, and you can hear him in the background going, get the Hitler clip.
But that was incredible. Oh, he did? He said that?
Yeah. Look up the hot mic moment, and there's a moment where Nick Fuentes is answering a question, and you can hear Piers Morgan go, get the Hitler clip.
You know what's
I didn't hear it.
He really, I don't remember who said it, but he really should have said, when he was saying, yeah, he's fucking cool, he should have dropped the Hugo Boss uniforms as a thing. Someone said that. David, yeah.
Well, him saying the edits as the first thing, though, was perfect because,
the edits, yeah.
Because now everyone's just making so many edits. I've seen so many edits now of it starting off with Nick Fuentes saying the edits and then it goes straight into it.
Yo, bro, in New York, my girlfriend lived in this building on Houston Street that had, it was run by Buddhist monks. And at the top of the fucking building, you can Google this. You can just go on Google and put just put this information. You'll see the picture of the building. They have a giant statue of Lenin, I have photos standing in the rooftop between his legs, and my legs my head didn't even reach his crotch. It's a huge fucking statue.
Wow.
And imagine if there was someone in New York with just a giant, awesome Hitler with a giant cape, statue. You know what I mean? The one where Hitler's walking down the stairs and his cape just flares. And he just looks like Darth Vader or something. Anyway, I guess what I'm trying to say is, like, Lenin looks cool in that statue, even though he was like a short king. And yeah, Hitler looks cool when he does certain things. You know who doesn't look cool? Mao. Who else? Pol Pot. Mussolini. I can't say. Well, Mussolini a little bit. If you can get into his whole like how he sticks his nose into the air and purses his lips, I guess you could say he looks cool. I think he's another short king. Isn't Nick Buntis a short king?
Yeah.
All kings are short, my dear.
There you go.
You met him, so you know. Diego.
Yeah, I think in my photo, it's actually, I kind of hold the camera up because I can't hold it level. Yeah, you're right. I think I was bending over. In the photo that we took a selfie together. I think I kind of like had to like crouch over for him. And then he did the America First symbol. He did the #1 symbol in a photo.
Yeah, when they played that clip of Nick Fuentes.
When they played that clip, I was standing there, so I don't know if you can text this to you. Like, me and my sister are like standing right there at the bottom of the thing.
I didn't actually look for you.
Randy is shorter than you, Diego. But Rico's totally bigger.
You think so?
But Randy claims he's like 6'5".
Yeah, like Rico's pretty tall, yeah.
Rabbi's not 6'5".
Isn't that what he said?
Rabbi is shorter than Diego. Rabbi is 5'11".
Rabbi's not
5'11" and 6 foot is the same thing.
I know for a fact that Rabbi's not 6'5". If you want, I can beat you in the proof.
No one's
gonna be
6'5".
Docs, Rudolph.
I'm just joking. I would never do that.
I mean, we have photos of him in leather.
Do you?
Yeah, he sent a photo of himself to me and you, with him wearing.
Did you screenshot it? Because he sent me disappearing messages.
Yeah, I took a picture on my other phone of it. So
I mean, it is really interesting that he's like, everyone's trying to dox me when he literally sent like his nudes to so many women.
Oh, really?
It's very interesting the way that he's like affected by this. He's like, I can't believe someone knows my name. Well, there's really nudes of him that everyone.
He's had a contest about his penis with other dudes.
Yeah. He's had gay men rate his penis.
Wow.
Right? Isn't that true?
I've never seen his penis.
He had Danny. So
I've only ever seen Diego's feet.
What the hell?
What the hell?
That's what's in your PTR line?
Yeah, these are mine.
Ew, gross.
Yeah, well.
You really got to check it out.
Are you saying that Randy used his real name when the police came to his house and they were looking for somebody else?
Benjamin Ahmad, is that the story about that?
Well, we're trying to get Rudolph to stop using Rabbi's real name.
I'm not using his real name.
Well, what's the supposed fake name, Rudolph?
I can't tell you.
Tell John Kitover on YouTube.
Let me ask you this, just out of curiosity, does it sound ugly?
It sounds very, yeah.
Okay.
It's a good name. I like the name.
It's Benjamin.
If you saw the name, Diego, you would be like, that person should be deported.
I thought his first name is Benjamin.
Does it have an Islamic sounding name to it, like Abd?
I can neither confirm nor deny.
That's a yes. That's a
No, but
pain.
I don't think it's like, example, I don't think it's like your middle 10 names that you have in the middle.
Like Abdul Karim Abdullah.
I don't think it's something.
No, it's not that, but it is. It feels like that though. When I say it, I'm like.
I have a question. I have a question for the room. Diego, look at my PTR and you tell me, what do you think that experience would be like if she was riding you? What do you think?
I'm gonna be honest. That kind of does look like Rabbi.
Holy crap! Is this real?
Which one? Yeah, no, that's real. That's a real photo. Those are conjoined.
Yeah, there's a few people like this
Yeah.
in the world.
Those are conjoined twins, but those are the most attractive conjoined twins I've ever seen.
There's some that have only
They
like
also
one of the
have the
common
most
ones.
group that many conjoined twins.
I'm just saying, like, how crazy would it be to go from like kissing one head to the next, and then
Do they have 3 groups? Would that be they have 3?
They have 4 groups and they have 3 arms.
Are you sure there's 4 groups there?
Keating, you're married. How dare you?
yeah, they have 3 arms.
I can
They're famous actually at this point. They're influencers. I don't know their names.
Well, who's not an influencer? I mean, you're an influencer.
Diego's an influencer. Ultra Derecha has been,
That's true.
the biggest time waste of his life. I mean, admittedly.
I'm not gonna stop until I get him to anti-Semite of the year.
He did interview Nick Fanta.
I'm actually surprised that like my elevator.
Something called a canary mission.
How is Miss Rachel beating all you and me, Nora? Fuck.
You know how there's like.
It's crazy if the elevator girl got anti-Semite of the year.
You know how there's elite homosexuals like Peter Thiel? Diego considers himself an elite anti-Semite, which is like maybe the dumbest title anybody's ever thought about ever having. Could you imagine like thousands of years of human history, and then one guy emerges and he's like, I want my goal in life is to be known as the world's #1 anti-Semite. It's like, how self-destructive and stupid could a human being be?
Nick Fuentes saying that Jews are remarkable people by definition. What did you all think of what he said that?
Because he's read the Bible. He understands that the Jews are the chosen people.
I found that like it didn't sit well with me because
I didn't like that either.
they're not the real Jews of the old, you know?
Nick Fuentes make you feel uncomfortable and upset and cause friction within your worldview. Amazing.
I just don't think it's accurate to.
She meant it more like the way Darth Vader said, your lack of faith is disturbing. That's what she was trying to say.
Well, you morons don't read books. You just come on here and create stupid anti-Semite rooms and hope that you're going to become the world's best
anti-Semite.
anti-Semite.
Learn how to read. It was like hooked on phonics, Ultra Derecha.
Well, you should probably see some type of therapist, Scarface, because that scar and that lip, not only did you not read before, but now you're not even going to read anymore. I mean, it doesn't matter. Your hair looks Vidal Sassoon, which is fantastic, though.
Oh gosh.
Listen, when you catfished and doxed, when you got doxed with the cat. Anyways, I'm just saying that the video I've seen of you running around in the elevator shafts, that your hair was very frizzy in those, and so.
Yeah. Speaking of elevator shafts, what about these tunnel Jews? They were trying to raise bodies back from the dead.
Where?
They came out, the Jews, and they explained why there was a brown spot on a mattress.
Oh, you're talking about in what was that, Brooklyn?
Yeah, bro. They were taking covers and doing magic ritual Kabbalah shit to try to raise them back from the dead, bro. Like they accused the Nazis of doing the boys from Brazil, and they're the ones that actually do these things.
Boys from Brazil? What are the boys from Brazil?
It was they basically took Hitler's semen and they created like boys in the 1970s, and hoping that one of them would turn into Hitler as a resurrection.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Google
it. Boys from Brazil.
So I heard in a room yesterday, this woman named Aunt Jemima, she said, Hitler went to the fucking moon before we ever got there. And I was like, holy shit, I've heard it all. Hitler went to the fucking moon on a rocket ship?
Well, you don't know about the secret Nazi base on the dark side of the moon?
No, I mean, I saw that movie, great action, comic book movie. What was that called? God, there was like 2 of them, I think. Oh, was it Devil Boy? Was Devil Boy who fought Nazis in space? Anyways.
There's a Nazi base on the dark side of the moon. It runs on red mercury.
There you go. That character.
Google red mercury, dude.
Well, I mean, I could Google dolphins that fly to Mars and back in a day, but I got a hot bath waiting in the other room,
This is incredible.
I actually have, never mind.
mercury and explain to us what it is?
Anything
How it
from
works.
Diego.
It's a big thing.
Could you
Nazi
imagine?
red mercury.
Could you imagine Nora saying that to Diego in the future? You know, Diego, my uncle actually moved out of his house after like 50 years of marriage and moved in with like a younger woman. But then,
Are you shitting me? 50 years?
yeah, and then he literally they couldn't get along, you know, because she's a talker, he's a talker. And so eventually he moved back to his wife, my aunt, who took him back like a saint. My dad was like, divorce his ass. Don't let him back in the house. But my aunt let him back in, and then he went back up to his library and he had a heart attack, and that was the end of his life.
Nazi red mercury is a mythical substance, a hoax or urban legend often linked to secret Nazi superweapons like Die Glock, the bow, supposedly a radioactive liquid for anti-gravity or nuclear tech, but no scientific evidence supports its existence as described. Real red mercury compounds are common things like mercury oxide, or the mineral cinnabar, used for pigments, not futuristic weapons. The legend emerged from post-war disinformation, Cold War spy games, and confusion with actual radioactive